So I just picked up the Magura Hydraulic Clutch system for my 2005 KX 125. And basically, the cable ends that they give you and the shims for free play adjustment won't be used in this application. Basically, because this rod here will go in place of the stock cable. And you can see here the way the original one mounts, it kind of goes into the case a little bit. And it's got an O-ring on the end of it and hooks to the clutch puller. So when you go to the Magura one and you stick in the Magura Hydraulic Clutch, it does hook up just fine without any of the adapters. But what I noticed here is, in order to get this adjusted right, you can see I'd have to put a ton of shims in there. And then when you pull it's just going to wiggle. So I really wasn't too happy with that. So what I ended up coming up with for, I guess what you'd say is a hack for this, was I have the stock cable. If you notice, it has a stepped end on it with the O-ring. So what I did was I took my old clutch cable and I chopped the end off, basically. And then what I did was I pulled all the wiring out of the end of this cable end. So you can see with what I'm left with here, basically when I drilled out the center of it, the end piece where, right here, this end piece of that adapter came off. And so basically I'm left with everything from here, from this O-ring all the way to the top. So you can see right here, that's what I'm left with, which is perfect because that shim distance is exactly what I need, including the O-ring. So I drilled this out with a 560 seconds or something. Basically, I took the original shim that comes with and just figured out, stuck a drill bit in there to figure out what the diameter was, the exact diameter. And then I drilled this one out to be that exact same diameter as this one internally. And then the beauty part about this is it's already kind of got a flared end on it. So when you stick this on here, it's a perfect fit after you drill it out. And you can see that. And now I'll take the stock O-ring that came off of the original cable and I'll drop it in here. So that's giving me a little bit of shim distance. And then I'll stick the Magura clutch in there, and you can see how nice and tight that is. Then I'll hook this up. So now it's all hooked up, and you can see, because it's the original cable, it's nice and seated. So basically when I pull the clutch, it doesn't wiggle a whole lot, just about as much as the stock cable. So this is a absolutely awesome hack that I came up with, basically just to get my Magura to work right without doing a whole stack of shims and making it look stupid. So anyway, if anyone's gonna want to buy a Magura hydraulic clutch, the one that I ended up buying for my bike actually came with a TRX 250 label on the box, but it works just fine if you do it this way. And I used my old cable and not my brand new cable that I bought as a spare. So I still have my original, but if you wanted a much better looking quality piece, then you could just buy a brand new cable and cut the end off of it and do that. So anyway, let me know if you like this tip.